Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Here we go again. Almost done with the week. Monday, Thursday today. This is a special day of when Jesus first instituted the Lord's Supper. So it's a very special day for our church service. Tonight I will not be on Zoom because we have a church service at 7 o'clock. So I will be on at 10 in the morning. So if you have questions, you can jump on there, or I'll also be on at 10 in the morning on Friday, because Friday evening also. So I'll only be on in the morning on Thursday and Friday this week. All right, you should be working on that book report. I hope I was able to resend those reports. Sorry for those that couldn't open those. I resent those again, and everyone should be able to have their forms now. I sent them yesterday morning. For science today, I put another link on your sheet there for a mystery Doug. This one's going to be how do silly sounds come out of cartoons? So you take a look at that video if you'd like. I hope some of you were able to watch the live Mystery Doug. That was pretty cool. I hear he's going to do a couple more of those in the next couple of weeks, so I'll keep you updated. I thought it was a pretty well done, though, interesting science class there. All right, for social studies last night, for those that were on the Zoom meeting, I went over that map. Also, I was able to resend that. There's going to be a quiz for 3rd and 4th graders next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, remember, we don't have school on Monday next week, and Friday's kind of like a half day because we're only supposed to be in school until about noon, so it'll be a pretty easy day Friday. And for Easter Monday, we won't have anything, but on Tuesday, you will have a quiz on knowing all the continents and all of the oceans. You won't have to spell them, and I will be sending that out. I'm trying to get it to be a link, but we'll see. So I'll watch for that. But you should be studying that. We went over that map at our Zoom meeting last night, so make sure that you keep looking that over. All right, spelling, you should be finishing up your unit today. You finish up our last page of Unit 26. I have all the words uploaded at our Spelling City, so I put that thing there, the link to get to that. If you want to practice on there's some games that you can use to practice those words. Make sure you click on Unit 26. I left the last Unit 25 up there because there's a couple of us that still have not taken those quizzes yet. So make sure you click on 26, and then on Friday you'll be taking the test for that. All right, Lauren, for kindergarten, you're working on Super Kids today and the letter B. So I want you to work that packet I sent home on Monday with the letter B. I want you to do at least 3 more sheets of those. You can pick those 3, work on those ones. And then also I want you to work on those sentences. Write that sentence again, and also try to read that sentence to this afternoon when we get back on. I would really be awesome if you could read that sentence to me without my help. And also the word of. We're going to work on the word of. So we'll work on that a little bit more this afternoon. I'll give you a couple more assignments when we get on our Zoom meeting this afternoon. All right, for 1st grade, for your math class today, pretty simple assignment today. The one thing that you're going to be taking a look at in your math class is working with nickels. Does anyone remember how much a nickel is worth? A nickel is worth 5 cents. 5 cents. So if I had 2 nickels, 5. And if I had another 5 to it, well, how many fingers? 10. So 3 nickels, 5, 10, 15. 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. So there's all these different ways that you can figure those out. So on the middle part of your assignment, number 3, you're going to be doing that with those 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, whatever it might be, okay? So make sure you look at that. On the top part for number 1, you're going to write the number 89 a couple times. Number 2, you're going to be looking at the bookmarks. It says Danielle made 6 bookmarks, so you could just do rectangles for those bookmarks. And she gave 2 of them to her friend Michael. So if she gave 2 away, what do we have to do? Add or subtract? Yeah, we have to subtract there. So make sure you subtract there. And that means it's going to be a subtracting problem. It's 6 minus 2. Number 4, I hope everyone worked well with measuring with your ruler. You got to get that ruler out again for number 4 and measure how many inches that is. Remember, that's the 1 to 12 side. Don't get confused and write the 1 to 30 side. Number 5, put those numbers in order. from smallest, least to greatest. And then number 6, choose 5 numbers, any numbers that you want, and then add 10 to them. See what you get. You can pick up those numbers as whatever you like. The only thing that's different on the back is that you're counting by 5s for number 1 on the first part, and then counting up by 1s. 36, 30, or 35, 36, 37. Oh, good. I heard someone back there say 38. Good job. Number 2, that one you're going to also, Craig's making 9 bookmarks, and he gave 2 of them away to his friends. So you got to figure out how many he has left. I think everything else there should be pretty simple. Just about the same stuff that we've been working on, adding 10s and whatnot. I think you guys should be able to handle it. For phonics, you are going to be writing the word that goes in the blank. You have a bunch of words. One word's going to go this way, one word's going this way. I'll give you the clue. The letter that match or goes to the middle for each one is the letter A. But write the word that matches each picture there. And on the next part, write the word that goes in finishes the sentence. I think the picture will help you with that sentence, but you got to fill in the bubble and write that word in. They're all working with that long A sound. Number 169, you have to rewrite the sentence. Find the sentence that matches the picture. They give you 2 of them. You got to write the one that goes with the picture. Write a good complete sentence. Start with a capital letter, end with a period, all that good stuff. And on page 170, you need to underline all the words that have the A sound. There's a ton of words there that have the A sound. So when you're reading it, if it has the A, like they give you the first one, Jake, all right, you got to underline it, all right? So you're going to have a bunch of things underlined there. Read that story carefully because tomorrow, or on, would it be Friday, you have to really make sure answer a couple questions about that story, okay? All right, shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. First or second graders, your assignment today, you're going to be going up with, first part you're going to be looking at is a bunch of adding, or subtracting, sorry, not too hard. All right, then on this next page, you're going to be taking a look at how do we split things in half, okay? So it's going to give you a box that looks like this. Hold on, let me write this out real quick. 1/2 of blank is blank. Okay, so it's going to look like this. 1/2 of blank is blank. Now, let's start with the number 14. So what am I going to do here is I'm going to go back and forth from each square, counting by up to 14. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, so I stop at 14. Now, let's see how many I have on each side. Do you see how I kept going back and forth? Well, this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I have 7. Let's see if I have the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I do. Well, that's awesome. So, 1/2 of, what was my first number? 14 is 7. So if I had 14 pieces of candy and I split it amongst 7 of my friends, we each would, or 2 of my friends, then we would each get 7. All right, let's try another one. Let's say I'm going to go, let me write my box out. 1/2 of blank is blank. All right, my number is 11. All right, so this time I'm going to use dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's see how many I have on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. Are those equal? 6 and 5? I don't think so. Someone's going to get an extra one. So what I have to do here is, since this one's bigger, 6, I'm going to make that one a 5. In order to make that one a 5, I have to take one of those dots away, and I'm going to put it over here in my extra box. So now they're the equal, right? So then down here at the bottom, you're going to say 1/2 of 11 is 5. So, okay. So here's what you're going to be doing. On that page, I'm going to put some numbers here, and you have to do that number. Hold on. All right, so you're going to do 14 here, 10, 8, 7, 13, and 9. And so you're going to go back and forth and see what those equal, and then kind of go from there, okay? If you have a question, feel free to get in contact with me about that one, okay? So make sure you do it right, because it's part of your assignment too. If you look at your lesson practice, your next sheet on page 3, you need to go through and do that same exact thing, except it says you're going to share 10 books. So you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right? And tell me what that would be. How much would each have? Be careful with number 4. Some of us are doing those wrong again. Remember with those, it looks like this. If I have the number 47, it's between what two numbers? I'm going to lean over here. 47 is between, remember, we start with 40 and 50. Because remember, 40... we just switch it to 0 and 50 like that. And then we look at the 7. And remember, if it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we always use the bigger one. So 47 is actually closer to 50. All right, so be very careful to that on number 4. Make sure you're doing that carefully, okay? Oh, look at that. Number 5 is kind of Easter themed. Draw a dozen eggs. Remember how many are in a dozen? That's 12. Color 5 of them red. And then we want to know what fraction part of those is red. So how many are red? That goes on top. How many eggs altogether? That's your bottom number. The 6, both of those subtractions you're going to have to borrow today. I think everything else on the other side, on both sides, you should be able to figure those other things out. I think it's stuff that we've done already so far. But if there is a question, make sure you ask, okay? All right, for your phonics today, second graders, you're going to be finishing up our look at the letters with EA, like the word, like feather, bread, those types of words. So in 149, you're just using the words in the word bank to fill in the blank. 1 through 6 on page 150, those are those silly words or silly questions, and you got to tell me yes or no. And then you got to use the word box at the bottom to write 3 silly questions. Make sure your sentences start with the not capital, or starts with the capital and ends with the period, or question mark, sorry. Then 151 and 152, we're working with these two letters. OW. OW is the same sound as if you're hammering and you hit your thumb. What sound do you make? You say, ow! OW makes the ow sound, okay? So you're going to go through a bunch of words. They give you a bunch of words at the top in the word box. Match the word that goes with the picture. The ow, they're all ow words. And then same thing on the other side, except now the OW can make 2 other sounds, or another sound. On page 152, when you see the OW, like in this word, we don't want to see this anymore. Snow. Is it snow? No, it's snow. OW can sometimes make the O sound as well. So, but same thing, you got to use the words in the word bank to write the word that matches each picture there. All right? I think you guys will be just a champion at doing all that stuff. Okay, second grade? Keep it up the good work. Third graders, today you're going to be taking a look at division. All right? Division, remember, you can write it in a couple of different ways. We could write a problem that looks like this. 24 divided by 3. Or you can write it like this. Same exact problem, just a different way of writing division. Okay? And remember this, what you're trying to figure out is what times 3 will give us 24. So that's why it's so important that we know our multiplication facts. Excuse me. Because you need to go back and look. And if you know what times 3 equals 24, you got to write your answer down just like that. instead of going back and relying like on the multiplication chart. So really keep practicing those multiplication facts. Since I've been practicing them all the time, I know that it's 3 times 8. So the answer will either go there, or the answer, if you write it that way, goes on top. All right, so that's one of those things. And then on the other thing that you're going to be looking at is fact families, except usually we've done fact families, it's been adding and subtracting problems. Today we're going to do multiplying. So I'm going to write 3 numbers up here. 3, 8, and 56. Or 7, 8, and 56. Okay? Well, you take the 2 smaller ones. What are the 2 smaller ones there? 7 and 8. And we multiply them. 7 times 8 equals 56. That's one multiplying, right? Then we flip-flop them. 8 times 7. But, of course, the 56 stays in the same spot. Just like we did with our adding. Okay? But now we got to do dividing. And dividing always starts with the bigger number. So we go 56 divided by 7 equals 8. See how I did that? And then we do 56 divided by 8 equals 7. See how that works? All right, I'm going to put one up here. I want you to see if you can write out your problem and see if you can get the same answer as I. All right, so here's what I'm going to write. 3, 4, and 12. See if you can come up with 2 multiplying problems and 2 division problems using these 3. I'll give you a few seconds to start up, and then I'm going to write them on the board and see if you got the same answer. All right, let's see. Is this what you got? 3 times 4 equals 12. 4 times 3 equals 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. I hope that's what you got. This is very similar to the adding and subtracting. It's just using multiplying and adding. Or multiplying and division. And looking at your assignment this afternoon, or this morning, I didn't see a whole lot that was out of the ordinary with regards to your stuff. I think you should be able to figure out all those things pretty simply. Just be careful that we're writing out our problems so I can see how they're done. Also be careful with those multiplying. Some of us have been slipping a little bit on those. And those word problems, read them carefully, the word problems. So that way we don't make any silly mistakes. All right? All right, third graders, with regards to your reading today, you finished that story yesterday about the Mayflower. You need to answer the 8 questions on page 87 with regards to that story. And then you have another story to read on page 88 called A Trip Back in Time. And on that page, then on the next page, you're going to fill out a chart just like we did yesterday, where you have to answer a question, and then what clues told you that from the story, and because of those clues, what do you know personally about how someone might be feeling along those lines. Okay, so you got to do that for page 89. And then for page 90, I gave this example in the book, but I'm going to do this again. It's going to give you a word, and we're talking about suffixes. And remember, if we talk about suffixes, that's when we add letters to the end of a word. So I have the word darkness. If I have the word darkness, what's the suffix? Well, the suffix is ness, right? That's letters added. So if I took those off, I'm going to use my rag here and take them off. What word am I left with? Dark. All right, so that's actually your answer to the first problem. So you're going to do that for all of them. Sometimes you have to change the letter. Like if sometimes you got to change the Y to an I and add ES. So if you do see an I would say change it to back to a Y when you rewrite the word. I think there's only one like that. Then after you're all done, you're going to take the letters that are numbered and write them on the line below to solve that little puzzle there. All right? Shouldn't be too hard. I think you guys have been doing awesome there. Keep up the good work. All right, fourth graders. Your assignment, and Javon and Dylan, your first part is, your first and last page are dealing with vocab words. You're going to be reading a story, 2 stories actually, from your hardcover book. They're 2 very short stories. One is Juan I always get a problem with how to say his name, Verdades, and the other one is about Louis Braille. And you're going to read those 2 stories. First page and last page are vocab words that come from that story. All right, so that should be pretty simple. Then you have on page 70 a chart about those two stories. You got to tell me who is the main character. What's the problem that the main character had? How does the main character solve that problem in the story? And what was the benefits of solving? Why was it good that he solved that problem? Shouldn't be too hard. Can't do the assignment though until you've read it. All right. Then on 71, you're going to talk about that Juan Vardetti's story again, and Marvin of the Great Woods, a story we read about a month ago. And you get to tell me what's the setting of the story, where did most of that story take place? Tell me at least 2 details describing where it took place. And why is the setting important of the story? Is the setting important in that story? Why or why not? So is it very important where that story took place? Yes or no? All right. Otherwise, I think you guys should be able to finish that pretty simply today. You guys have been doing an awesome job. Keep up the good work. I really have gone through a bunch of, every time your parents send no homework, I have about an hour in my day every day that I sit down in front of my computer and try to look at everyone's homework. Keep writing as dark as you can. Make sure you tell your parents to take a picture in front of an area where it's easy for me to be able to read it. But for the most part, you guys have been doing a really, really good job. I know this is a little bit difficult of a time trying to listen to Mr. Holman and try to hear Mr. Holman teach you over a video, but we're trying our best. So keep up the hard work. Don't give your parents a bunch of grief about doing your work. Get it done. And then you can go on with your day. It shouldn't take you more than an hour or 2 to get your work done every day. So I appreciate all the hard work you guys have been doing. And like I said yesterday, I miss you guys. I wish that we were all back together in a classroom and being able to see each other each and every day. But hey, things will get back to normal sooner or later. All right. Have a great Thursday. And like I said, feel free to get in contact with me if you have any questions. Bye.